Go.
All right, guys, PowerStroke Jude here. I'm not going to spend as much time showing you guys how to take off the driver's side, which is the left side, because you guys saw the right side. One thing I will tell you is that when I took off the front cover, the T-side housing, which sits right about here, is no longer in the way. So this head comes out a lot easier. If you're just doing heads and you're not taking off the front cover, there's a little more maneuvering you got to do, but it still comes out. This heat shield that stands on the white pipe is right now bolted by 2/8 to the high pressure oil pump cover. Don't worry about those two, because as long as once you get it out of the way, you should be all right. I already have it all prepped. You know, I've got all the head bolts loose except for two, and I've got all the 510s that are holding it down loose except for two, and I've even got the rockers ready to come out. The last thing I got to do is press pause. Where did you move my tool? All right, sorry about that. I didn't know where my gun was. But this 10 right here has got to come out. I've also already got my bracket set up so I could take that out. And then these two 18 head bolts, they're already broke loose. I broke them all loose by hand. The last 18 on the bottom and the corner is hard to get off. What I used, believe it or not, was a Craftsman 3/8 breaker bar. That's only about yay long. This 18 millimeter Cornwell socket, and then I used a breaker bar, and it held up like a champ, and it took it off just like I knew it would. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you a couple, and then I'm going to stop the video and continue in a minute. But hey, before I forget, man, let me ask everybody to please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Ring the bell. When you leave comments, you know, tell me things you think you might want to see. Tell me other projects you want me to work on, or if you're on this truck that I'm working on itself. You know, if I, like I said in another video, if I fail to mention a step, just let me know. No big deal. I'll go over it. But I'll have one more 10 to take out. But yeah, do all that for me. I appreciate it. Thank you. That was the last one. All right. So you're gonna remove all the head bolts. Like I said, I got 110 back there just holding the head on just in case. But I'll take that out right before I pull the head. The last 18 head bolt, 18 millimeter head bolt, you're not going to be able to get it out because the firewall's in the way. So what you want to do is maybe put a couple zip ties around it or something just to hold it up in a high position so it doesn't fight you as you're coming out. That might be the only thing that fights you a little bit, but it will come out. And I've got all my rockers ready to come out. I'm going to do the same thing I did on the other one. Number one is in the front. You know, it's actually number two. 2, 4. I'm going to roll these three right here. Put the last two next to it on the side. Same thing with all the push rods and the valve bridges, just like last time, man. Just lay them out in order the way they came out, so that way you can put them back in order the way they came in. And just remember on the push rods. All right, guys, PowerStroke Jude here. I'm not sure exactly where I left off on the last clip, but like I said, now I'm about to pull the head. I got the glow plug harness I'm going to leave on when I take it out. I just kind of got it out of the way so it doesn't get tangled in anything. I put it through this eyelet that's bolted to the head. On the back of that heat shield where the turbo is, I think I told you there's a 13 millimeter that bolts to the head. You want to get that out of the way. I also have a little locking pliers, Craftsman locking pliers on there. Hey, I don't know if anybody ever uses the snap-on locking pliers, but you know what? These things are absolute garbage. I'll never use those again. I've got a whole set of them, and you know what? I'm through with them. I'm going to try to trade them in, or I don't know, use them for something. It doesn't matter. They're junk. But now we're gonna start getting ready to. All right. So, anyways, I'm gonna hand off the camera to Mrs. PowerStroke and Little PowerStroke, aka Matt the Surfer Dude. He's gonna start pumping the jack for me, and we're gonna try to get this head out. All right, here we go. Yeah, start pumping. Full pumps. Don't go slow. Let go. Okay, watch me. Let go. Let go. Just pause. All right, pump, Matthew. Hold on one. All right, here we go. Just got it loose. Got all you heard was the head gasket fighting it, guys. Sometimes the head gasket stays down on the block. Sometimes it comes up with the head. All right, hold on. Stop, Matthew.
You gotta pull it out.
Gotta pull it out a little bit. All right, hold it right here. All right, got it. Pump, Matthew. You hold on real quick. Are you still recording? Okay, good. What you just saw me able to come straight back like that, you can't do when you have the front cover on because the head hits the T-stat housing. So that's the benefit of doing a front cover gasket when you have oil, fuel in the oil, fuel in the coolant. All right, so let's go ahead and keep pumping, Matthew. That's Matthew's little PowerStroke, you guys. Full pumps, full pumps. This is the EBP sensor, which you can see I didn't take off from exhaust manifold. The EBP is exhaust gas pressure. It did not get in the way. As you can see on the back, the white pipe, go back there, Sarah, is still on there because it's bolted by the 2 8s that hold it to the front cover housing. I may loosen one when I put it back on, so that way the white pipe doesn't fight me as I go in. I can just set it underneath. But we are just about out. If you look at the bracket that I'm using and the position I have it on, I guess there's one you can get on eBay that doesn't allow you to put it with the bracket close to the head or close to the rocker carrier, and you have to flip it around. And to me, that's just a hard angle. It makes it real difficult. But I almost got this thing out. And if you look down at the surface of the head, you can see where the head gasket was. It wasn't a blown head gasket. This was fuel in the coolant. But I'm going to clean that up real good. Get all the old head gasket material off both sides. I don't have to clean the new head, obviously. It's a brand new head. Got all my fuel lines and everything. Like I said, just make sure you remember where everything went, how everything was positioned as you went on. All right, we're high enough, Matthew. I'm going to pull this out now. Grab the rag and put it by the tire. Put a PowerStroke. Grab the rag and put it by the tire. On this wrong wheel. Alright. And this is what a bare block looks like. Oh, I forgot my oil cooler on there, which is not a big deal at all. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Like I said, I'm going to clean both sides of the heads of the block up, clean up the front cover, get everything back together, and hopefully, like I said, Ford really dogged me on my parts. I took my time. Friday, I was taking it apart. They called me, said all my parts are in. I went to go pick them up, and I've been waiting. The reason I was taking my time taking it apart was because it was taking me a week and a half to get all my parts. So then I knew they were going to come in Friday afternoon. So Friday morning, I was taking off the heads. I got one off, and then they called me and they were like, "Well, you know what? Come pick them up." So I was like, "All right, cool." I got them home. Took everything out of the boxes and everything. The head cylinder heads. The only thing that was right was the injector O-ring gaskets and the serpentine belt. Everything else was for an Econoline, and an Econoline won't work. I didn't know that the heads were different. Apparently, the way the rocker carrier bolts onto the cylinder head on an Econoline, they said the difference was if those bolts that connect them, that fasten them together, if they're 8mm, it's for an Econoline. It's an Econoline head. If it's a 10mm bolt or head on the bolt, it's for a 6.0. And I already knew that this one had 10mm bolts because this is the 6.0. So we were kind of done right there. So at that time, I kind of lost all motivation, and I just came home and put my tools away. And yesterday, I said, I'll pull the other head off tomorrow, and just got lazy and didn't do anything. And today, I was like, you know what, man? I may as well have this thing completely bare, have everything done, ready to go back together. I can clean up the block. I can clean up the front cover. I can clean up the exhaust manifold where it mounts to the heads. I can get all that done. I can reseal my O-rings. That was right, too, the O-ring injector kits. I can reseal the O-rings on the injectors and get all that done. So hopefully, I don't know, they said hopefully by Friday And last time they told me that, it took another 5 days. They said it only took 5 days. I say it took 7 because I was supposed to get it on a Friday, and then I got it the following Friday, and they said weekends don't count. But try telling that to a customer who's about to pay a lot of money to get his vehicle repaired, and it's a work truck. It's got a utility bed on it. Fortunately for this guy, this is going to be his new work truck, and he bought it knowing it had some issues. He didn't know about the fuel and the coolant, but it was going to be his new work truck, but he still had his old one. I think I mentioned before, he has a Chevy 2500 HD that he's driving, that I may work on when I'm done with this. But so fortunately he had that. I don't know, that guy, I mean, shoot, when you're a small business owner and you have one work truck, and all of a sudden I got to call him and say, oh dude, it's good, I can work on your truck, I have it diagnosed, but it's going to be 10 days or a week till I can get your parts. And that week ended up being 2 weeks, and then, or a week and a half or whatever, and then they had all the wrong parts. Now they're telling me it's another 7 days. That sucks, man. That's just kind of the stuff you run into, and it really sucks when you work for yourself and you don't have a service writer or a shop manager or someone or a shop owner to call the customer, and be the bumper in between the tech and the customer. When you work by yourself, you're the porter, the service writer, the parts guy, the service manager, the mechanic. You do everything. You have a support team. You got little PowerStroke, and you got Mrs. PowerStroke over there. Come on, Mrs. PowerStroke, smile. She don't want to be in there. Little PowerStroke, smile. There he is. That's little PowerStroke right there. You have a support team. I've had my godson Xavier help me. He's been here on the helping me take stuff apart. Hand me tools and stuff like that. Help me, torque some stuff down or untorque some stuff. Film a little bit. But it's way different on your own. But it's definitely something that can be done as long as you have a customer that's understanding. And at some point, there's nothing you can do. But have them be understanding. Some stuff that's unfortunate is, I wasn't having him pay for parts. I paid for all the parts, and then they were wrong. So they said, oh, we can just exchange it out and you can wait. And I said, dude, if it's going to be another 2 weeks, just reimburse me my money. And when it comes in, I'll come check it out and I'll pay for everything then. So put my money back on my card, because, you can't just be out $4,000. On top of that, you have to order, ARP head stuffs, which costs over $500, and a sinister, that's a sinister coolant filtration system, which costs a couple $100. Those stuff you can't send back and wait on. So you just gotta wait until you're finished for the job and you recoup your money. But anyways, this video is getting a little long. I'm at about 10 minutes on this clip, and I don't know how long the other clips were. I'm going to try to keep clips under 20 minutes. I know people lose interest after a while. Hopefully not on my videos. Hopefully my videos have you on the edge of your seats and you want to hear every last word I say and show every last piece of footage that I show. I doubt that though. But until next time, man, once again, please like, comment, share, subscribe. See you next time. PowerStroke Jude.
Out.